besides being a tutor, I am also an economics student at the University of Toronto in Canada. And I think the fact that that's why I'm outside of Wiingy reflects on how Wiingy is a service that really is for everyone, right? Like anyone at any place or background, as long as you have the right skill set, you can do well here, right? The lesson itself was fine, right? But there was like a little bit of panic and like figuring out how this stuff worked, how the platform worked. But then I was able to get through it, especially with the help of like the team, right? But yeah, it was a memorable one. It was a good one. One small moment that made me feel like this is why I teach was when one of my students, like outside of class hours, sent me a message asking how to learn this song. And I think that it's just really nice because it shows that even outside of the paid hours, right, that the students still are interested in music, right, and they actually do want to learn, right, and it's just really nice to have them feel that way. The top tips is to sort of learn to enjoy the process, right, because just with any other skill, not only piano, but even when it comes to learning academics or other art forms or other skills, it takes time, right? There's no way to just learn it overnight, right? So my advice to students is to just be patient, especially be patient with yourself. It really is okay to take some time to learn, and it always does take time to learn. So in order to make boring topics interesting, it's sort of to just like tell stories to relate to my students, because even though every student is unique, every student has their own challenges and pros and cons and strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, right? A lot of them face similar struggles when it comes to piano. So whenever I tell them a story of another student that's facing the issue that they're dealing with, they sort of feel like vindicated, right? Like it feels like they're seen or heard, and whenever they're like, yeah, this is just something everyone gets through, it's like it feels a little lighter, right? It feels less boring. The title would be Slow is Smooth and Smooth is Fast, right? Because that's something that I just really believe, as I mentioned earlier as well, right? There's really no way to learn something, especially something as complex as this, like just very quickly. The best way to learn it is to learn at your own pace, right? But over time. I was the kind of student that showed up, right? Like I was never like an A student, but I was there for when I needed to be there, which is why I believe what I believe about how things take time to learn. Because a lot of kids were actually smarter and faster than I was, honestly, right? But they eventually just like stopped playing the piano. They just stopped learning for one reason or another, but I'm still here, right? So that's why I believe what I believed earlier. AI is a tool, and I think that it's kind of an unavoidable technology, whether you want to use it or not, right? That said, AI, even though it can be quite useful to, like, let's say, make flashcards, right? Like recall memory. Specifically, I am teaching piano, so AI can definitely help with, let's say, learning concepts, right? Remembering things. But it can't play the piano for you. Like, you have to actually play the piano yourself, right? So it is useful, but on the tutor side, right? On the tutor side, it's useful to help the students teach. But at the end of the day, I do need to actually show them how to practically play the piano. Just to build on top of what I just said, right? That was on the tutor end, but now on the student's end, right? On the student's end, like I said, they do actually need to learn how to play the piano. And it's not something that can necessarily be like faked or sped up. So let's say if I was teaching math, right, maybe you could just plug it into AI and copy the answers and send it over. But if you're learning piano, if you can play the piano or not, like that's not something that can really be faked, right? So in this case, I think it can help because there's simply just no way to fake it, right? It can help. But I understand that it is definitely quite different across different fields as well, right? It would be about how I keep telling them to keep their hands as a spider, because in piano it's really common to have tutors tell their students to keep their hand like a ball, I tell them to keep them like a spider because it's just a little bit more memorable. And it's something that I repeat a lot in lessons, right? Because I see my students' hands and it's just something I keep reminding them of doing. My most unexpected question was when my student revealed to me that the whole reason why he was studying piano in the first place was because he wanted to play and perform in a band. And this is pretty recent actually, so it just came as a surprise because I never thought that this student would be the type, right? It was a more elderly student too, so I just felt like damn, like anyone can really do anything at any age, right? As long as they put their heart into it. It was really sweet. This is sort of like a more straightforward answer rather than a fun one because I did allude to it earlier. I would definitely be pursuing like an office job because I am working on my university degree right now. But Wiingy on top of my office job it fits really well, right? So that's why I don't really need to like give it up, right? I think it's a very nice thing to have on the side. I would just say that it's fun and really enjoyable to learn the instrument. It's good for you because scientifically it's literally like a fact that learning any instrument, not only piano, but any instrument is good for your brain. It keeps you mentally active and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to do.